In the winter of 1922, the Gruber family farm at Hinterkaifeck sat entirely alone. Separated from the nearest Bavarian town by dense woods and open fields, it was a property defined by its physical isolation. In late March, Andreas Gruber discovered a fresh set of footprints leading from the forest edge directly to the house. He searched the perimeter for hours, but the tracks never led back out. Inside the house, the unease grew. Andreas soon found a Munich newspaper discarded on the porch, an edition no one in the family subscribed to, and one the local postman denied ever delivering. On March 30th, Andreas and his daughter Victoria made a final trip into the town of Schrobenhausen. They told several locals about heavy, rhythmic pacing they had been hearing in their attic for nights on end. The following afternoon, Maria Baumgartner arrived at the farm to begin her first day as the new maid. Her sister watched her enter the house and then departed, unaware she was the last person to see the family alive. A heavy blizzard rolled in that evening, sealing the farm off from the outside world. By the time the snow stopped, the family was trapped inside with whatever had been watching from the attic. Within days, the community noticed the silence. 7-year-old Cecilia missed school, letters piled up at the gate, and on Sunday, the family pew sat empty during Mass. On April 4th, neighbors forced their way into the barn and discovered a horrific scene. 4 bodies had been beaten to death and stacked beneath a layer of hay. Inside the house, they found the maid and 2-year-old Joseph, both murdered where they slept. The livestock were well fed and the chimney was still warm. Evidence in the kitchen suggested that someone had been preparing meals and tending to the farm's daily chores long after the family was dead. The killer had transitioned from a murderer into a domestic presence, comfortably living alongside the victims for nearly 4 days. Robbery seemed unlikely from the start. While Victoria's personal cash was gone, investigators found gold coins and expensive jewelry left untouched in plain sight. Police searched the attic and found where a long-term intruder had been hiding. Hay had been matted down into a bed, and floor tiles had been shifted to provide a clear view of the courtyard below. These discoveries lead investigators to Karl Gabriel. He was Victoria's husband, officially reported killed in the trenches of World War I, but rumors suggested he had survived and returned to the farm for a vengeful massacre. Military records eventually dismantled this theory. The German army provided definitive proof that Karl Gabriel had died in combat in 1914, years before the first footprint appeared in the snow. With the phantom husband ruled out and the money left behind, the investigation turned inward toward the family's own history of conflict. Attention shifted to Lorenz Schlittenbauer, the neighbor who led the search party. He was strangely familiar with the crime scene, even using his own keys to unlock doors that the family usually kept barred from the inside. However, the brutality of the killings required immense physical stamina. Lorenz suffered from severe asthma following a gas attack in the war, making it unlikely he could have sustained the violence required to kill 6 people. The friction between the two families was rooted in a paternity dispute over young Joseph. Both Lorenz and Andreas Gruber had claimed to be the father, a complication made worse by the fact that Andreas had previously served time for an incestuous relationship with his daughter. Hostility defined the relationship between the neighbor and the patriarch, but the police lacked the physical evidence to bridge the gap between motive and murder. The layout of the crimes suggests that the killer was someone the family trusted. In this scenario, Andreas Gruber lures his family into the barn one by one, killing them with a modified mattock before turning the weapon on the maid and the infant. If Andreas was the perpetrator, why was his body in the barn? Lorenz Schlittenbauer, entering days later, finds Victoria's abuser still alive. Lorenz seizes the mattock, kills him, and arranges the body before hiding the weapon. This theory remains a deduction based on fragments. The farm was demolished shortly after the investigation, and the physical evidence was lost forever when Allied bombings destroyed the local police archives in 1944. Ultimately, the evidence points toward a tragedy contained entirely within the family. The most dangerous presence at Hinterkaifeck was likely the man at the head of the table,